Welcome everyone to the first ever Multipeak Marketing Podcast. Today we have our very first guest, a very special doctor with us. This guy was voted one of New Jersey's top orthodontists, featured in the New Jersey Monthly magazine, and he's even had the honor of being the official orthodontic healthcare giver for the New York Jets football team. Please welcome with us, Dr. Jason Rothenberg.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So I've been dying to ask how you were able to partner with the Jets.
So the Jets practice facility is right up the street from where we are, right in Florham Park. They were in Long Island. They moved out here a bunch of years ago. I don't remember how many now. My friend is their team dentist and recommended us to be their team orthodontist, which basically means when players or families or coaches are looking for an orthodontic office, our name is the one that gets given. It's been fun. So we've seen a number of the players over the years. We've seen a number of the coaches and family members. So it's just a little fun nuance.
Sweet. That's awesome. So what's the story behind becoming an orthodontist, and what was it like for starting Rothenberg Orthodontics?
Orthodontics, I wish there was a more romantic story to it, but it really was one of those things where when I got to dental school, I took my first orthodontic class and it kind of just clicked for me. When I was a kid, I built models, I built Legos, I would tinker in a workshop and just orthodontics was one of those things that just sort of met all the little things that I like to do. I graduated from the practice. I was fortunate enough to find a full-time job in this area. I worked for a great guy named Mike Fitzpatrick. He retired in 2008, and that's when I took over the practice. At that point, we renamed it and went from there.
Sweet. So how long have you been practicing?
I joined him in 2004, right out of residency, and then bought the practice in 2008.
Sweet. So obviously I seen looking you guys up and everything. Your culture is kind of fun and everything. Can you tell me about, how big your teams are and what your culture is like in the practice?
So I have two office locations. We have administrative teams in each office of two scheduling coordinators and a treatment coordinator dedicated to each location. I have one office manager who kind of floats between the two, and then I have clinical staff that kind of float between the two as well. Right now, we are a total of 20 team members, including my two part-time associate doctors.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was just wondering, if you had, obviously TCs, office managers. What about a marketing coordinator? Do you got one of those?
We do, and that's actually a relatively new position to 2021. In the past, I was not big into doing a lot of external marketing, doing even a lot of internal marketing, other than taking good care of our patients. That's something we've added this year. I have a wonderful young woman named Carolina who's taken over our marketing, and she's done an amazing job this year.
That's awesome. So what kind of stuff does she do?
Right now, she's doing a little bit of everything. So she'll coordinate meetings and drop-offs with the referring doctors. She'll coordinate any contests we have going on inside the office. She runs our social media platform. And the big thing she's been really getting involved in is just getting us out in the community a little bit more. Last night was National Night Out. A lot of the communities around the country were doing something with that, and just getting the communities together along with the police departments. And she got us in a position to be a significant sponsor for that event. So that was a really nice kind of thing, just to be out in the community,
Awesome.
A little bit more involved.
Why did they vote you to become the number one orthodontist or the top orthodontist in the New Jersey area?
I think a lot of it's about our office culture. I'm a believer in letting my team be themselves and let them grow and learn. I think we do a really good job taking care of not only our referring doctors, but really the patients that we have in the office. And I think we've earned a reputation of being fair, being honest. There are a number of times we will say, you don't need treatment. We don't force anybody into anything. And that's been a big part of who we are.
Right. So your treatment speaks for itself. The patient experiences, they speak for themselves. And literally just your integrity is really what has helped you thrive, right?
I think so. I think that's been a big part of it.
Right. That's awesome. So switching gears for a second, what adjustments did you make like when COVID first hit? What kind of adjustments did you have to make?
We shut down. We were closed from right about St. Patrick's Day to right after Memorial Day. So in the first couple of weeks was a lot of figuring out what to do. A lot of the dental boards and national organizations didn't give us a whole lot of guidance. So,
Yeah.
of us who kind of figured things out via the community and figured out what to do. We reopened right after Memorial Day. What I had created, I had thankfully a virtual platform set up where I was still able to see a number of patients virtually. And we had set up this system where aligner patients could pick up their aligners. And if someone needed elastics, they could pick up their elastics in a touchless way. When we reopened, I didn't see a whole lot of patients in the office during the shutdown because a lot of people were too afraid to even come in, even if they had a pokey wire. I spent a lot of time teaching a lot of DIY orthodontics.
Yeah.
But and then once we reopened, it was a very kind of slow rollout. So the first week we did nothing but see all of the emergencies who had reached out to me during the shutdown, got them in, got them fixed, got them comfortable, and then we spent the next 2 weeks doing nothing but seeing all the removals who were supposed to get their braces off.
Yeah.
And then we slowly started ramping up our schedule to build back to to a more normal schedule. Although that took about 9 months to really get to a more typical schedule for us.
Yeah. That's awesome. So what was the biggest month that you've seen from, was it like in COVID? Was that one of your biggest months? And kind of like, what did you do to have a biggest month for your practice?
Biggest month growth wise?
Yeah, like growth wise, getting more patients in and things like that.
Well, I mean, post COVID was a lot of just catch up. I mean, there's patients who were supposed to be coming in March, April, May, and getting started. So June, July, August of last year, even into September, were incredibly good, productive months. Beyond that, now it's been more of we're kind of going back to the old, getting our name out there, getting our name out to the dentist. For a really long time, I couldn't meet with the dentist. It was impossible just to even have lunch or have dinner or have whatever with a local referral. Now we've started to go back out and kind of catch up with everybody again, and we've had a pretty good summer from that standpoint as well. We're anticipating a very strong August.
Right, that's awesome. So going back to the marketing side of things, what's kind of been the biggest headache you've had when it comes to like doing the marketing, and maybe even like coming up with different ideas for the marketing?
I think for us, it was really the growing pains of someone taking over a new position and doing something we've never done before. I was fortunate enough to work with Leanne Paniche. She was my consultant for a little while, and they really helped us start laying the foundation and the groundwork for our marketing platform, gave us a lot of really great ideas. I belong to a nationwide orthodontic group, which is very, very open and free on sharing ideas. So we've adopted a lot of things from my colleagues. And there's a local oral surgery group around here who've been really nice enough their marketing coordinators have really helped Carolina. They've taken her under her wing and really helped her a lot. So we've been very fortunate that way.
That's awesome. Just finally to kind of wrap everything up, what do you think from other orthodontic practices and everything, what do you think a really good, healthy monthly marketing budget would be given the size of your practices?
If you read what Kane Waters or what Chris Benson put out, I mean, most of them will say 3 to 5% of your collections is typical what most people will spend, or 1%, depending who you are. I mean, we went from spending almost nothing to I've given Caroline a budget of about 3%, and she's been really good about sticking with it. I'm eager to see how the return comes in. Things start to continue to go.
Right. So like things are just kind of blossoming out, really. Like you've only really done like organic kind of marketing and not really like online kind of marketing stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Well, I really appreciate you having you on, Dr. Jason, and just share some value with all of our listeners. Guys, please make sure to check out the Rothenberg Orthodontics website to see all the amazing things that they're doing. I believe the link is www.rothenbergortho.com. And also go ahead and message us on social media if you have any questions you'd like to have answered on the podcast. With that being said, guys, thank you guys for listening and have a blessed day, everyone.